be lighting these candles for. Again, this is not just about my family. It's about other families as well. We want to make sure highlighting their cases as well. I just want to put the first one here up on the screen, you guys. This is a case, you guys, of a young lady, Medina. You guys, I hope I say the names correctly. You guys know I have always have some issues with saying names. Madalena Kojikari, I believe is how to say her name. But she's a missing young lady since November 20th of 2022, out of North Carolina, you guys, and Camillus, North Carolina. Her date of birth is April 11th, 2011. Her age now is 12, you guys. And, you know, like I said, missing children is especially, you guys, missing children, no matter how they go missing. They could be a runaway. They could be, I'm not saying this would happen to this young lady. I'm saying that they could be a runaway. They could be anything can happen. But they are children, and we definitely need to make sure we bring our children back home. She's a female, of course. She's white female, brown hair, eyes are brown, as well as she's 4'10", and she weighed 95 pounds. Medina Catalina was last seen on November 23rd, 2022. She was last seen wearing jeans, pink, purple, and white Adidas shoes. You guys, if you guys have any information about that, please, you guys. Also, she have a white t-shirt and a jacket. You guys do not hesitate, as the flyer says here, the missing exploited children. Call 911, or you can call the number that you see here on the screen, 1-704-892-7773. Again, and also we have another missing loved one, you guys. And also two here, you guys. Keila Lopez Garcia, Jackson Sakul Lopez. I hope I can say these names correctly, you guys. It's very important that you take these informations. Her missing date is for Keila. Missing date, you guys. She's been missing since March 30th of 2022. Missing from Hamilton, Ohio, you guys. Date of birth is December 27th, 2025. You guys, she's 17 years old now. Again, another child, you guys. Sex is female, Hispanic, black hair, brown eyes. She's 5'11" and 115 pounds. Also, look at this little baby, you guys. Jackson, she's been missing also since the 30th. Hamilton, Ohio, again, June 21st, same. Her birthday is June 21st of 2021. Her age now is 1, you guys. Oh, I'm sorry. I say Jackson now is a male. He's a male, young man missing, you guys. Race Hispanic, black hair, brown eyes, 2 feet 3 inches, and 17 pounds. Another child. These are two children that are missing, you guys, and we need to bring them home. Also, lastly, before we go into the candlelit visual, we have Cody Bixby. Has been missing since January the 31st of 2022, from Hampton, Virginia. From Hampton, Virginia, and his date of birth is January the 12th, 2018. You guys, age now is 5. A male, black male with black hair and brown eyes. 3 feet in inches, and 3 feet tall, and 60 pounds in weight. You guys, if you guys have any information, you can go missing exploited children. You can call 911 or utilize the number that you see on this flyer. So again, you guys, we definitely want to make sure we can bring the children home. I also want to start off by bringing on my guests. They are in the green room waiting, and I want you guys to welcome them on. First, I have Mr. Petito. I'll be bringing him on real quickly. Thank you so much, Mr. Petito, for being here as well. I have Katrina here as well. Thank you, Katrina, for being here tonight to join me on this live. It's an important day for my family. Thank you so much for joining in. I also will have a Miss Nunez. She will be coming in shortly, you guys. I truly appreciate you all. Thank you so much, Mr. Petito.
Hey, listen, man, I appreciate you and, sending the invite. Me and you've talked, over the phone for a bit now. And there's a lot of people missing that need help. So, um, I'm glad that you put up those missing people, and that's what it's about, right? It's about
Definitely.
getting the names out there, the faces out there, so people can see them, understand what they look like, you know. You know, you- I mean, I guess can we just go into it for a second? Would that be okay? Yeah, 'cause one of the things
Yes, but I want to go ahead and get this. Go ahead and start the candlelight visual, and then
okay,
I would light a candle, and I would like to do a prayer, and then we'll go right into it.
absolutely, let's
Yes,
do it.
sir. Yes, sir. Katrina, I don't know if you want to have anything to say, but I want to tell everybody thank Katrina for being here as well. I truly appreciate you being here, Katrina.
I have to thank you guys for asking me to be here. I am honored to be in the presence of you guys, even though it's not the, it's not what we're supposed to be here for. But I do appreciate you and everyone else being a part of this, so we can find our missing loved ones.
That's right. That's right. And I thank you both. Of course, we'll be talking about your missing loved ones, and also we'll be discussing with Mr. Petito other cases that will be a part of this live. That we definitely want to make sure we get their stories out there. Like Mr. Petito said, this is our, it becomes a duty. We have missing loved one, and it's almost like a calling that's been thrown on you. And you go out and try to make sure you do all you can for others, and that's the name of the game. Just like Mr. Petito say, that is what we are here to do. So again, I just want to start this, the candlelight visual, you guys. Again, those who who are watching now, a part of this event. I want to tell you thank you so much. I want to tell you thank you to those who came out last year. I done the candlelight visual out in Phoenix, and you all showed up there, lighting those candles, supporting me and my family as we, going through a memory of our son Daniel. Again, I would be lighting my candle now, you guys, and I want to, if those who have candles as well, if you want to light your candle, I will be waiting with you guys as well. I'll give you a moment. All right. Okay. I'd like to, again, you guys, uh, just reflect on who my son Daniel is. Daniel, a geologist, graduated from the College of Charleston. As guys know, he's a native of South Carolina, and he's been born and raised here in South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina. He has siblings, of course, you guys. Daniel, the youngest male of his siblings, he definitely was raised up to be one of those people, being the person coming up from the rear. Of course, he's going to challenge his siblings. So he always been challenging everything. I mean, from video games to you name it. A lot of times I would come in the room thinking they're doing some things. And it's usually be Daniel. Of course, the rest will get blamed for things that he have done. But those things, just growing up is watching a young man who was born without a right hand. You guys watching him refuse and reject prosthetics because he self-identified. He only asked his mother one time about what happened to his hand and never asked again, you guys. And he been showing us, some would look at him as that being a handicap. Daniel showed us that it is not a handicap. It is something that God had blessed him with in a sense because it gave him a drive. And that whatever Daniel decided to put in his mind to, he tried it. He tried it. He mastered it. He taught himself how to play the French horn. He taught himself how to play the trumpet. He did some sports. He did, you name it, guys. Whatever he wanted to try, he dabbled in. He actually did it, as well as when it comes to his academics. Like I say, he had his older brother and sisters to look at, and they was excelling and doing well in school. So of course, he wanted to outdo them. He made it to college, the College of Charleston, South Carolina, and decided to major in geology. He took that, and you know what? Once he fell in love with it, he challenged himself on that too. I've been worried. I've been worried, you guys. I have never lived in the barracks. Well, the dorms. Excuse me, the dorms before in college. I lived off campus. Of course, he lived in the dorms, And when he was in the dorms, he lived that college experience. His sisters was in college with him. His twin sister was in college with him, and they often report back, "Man, Dad, I don't know. Daniel's always at these parties, and he's doing this and he's doing that. Living that college experience." And as a parent, first thing we thinking about money. Hey, you're spending this money, and you want to make sure you're not flunking your grades. So those kind of challenges I had with Daniel in college. He would give those challenges. It can make you kind of worry and want to take these trips. But he's a people person. Every time you look around, his sister's telling me, "Hey, look, no matter where we go, somehow someone knows Daniel. They know Daniel. They know who he is, and it's like the whole school know him. They gave him a nickname at the school that he utilized as well. But like I say, he did a lot of things there. But once he graduated, you guys, he took a class in Flagstaff, went straight to Arizona to take a class in Flagstaff. I don't know why. I still don't understand to this day. Once you graduate, why you taking a class. But he went out to Flagstaff to take the class. And, as a father, and I'm sure his mother felt the same way. We thought he was coming back to South Carolina. We were expecting that because we're preparing, like, hey, get him prepared for whatever career he's going to, whatever job he's going to take and things like that. He called us and said, I'm not coming back. And so he stayed out into Arizona and went to, he's not coming back because he landed a job immediately, guys. He's landed his job with Matrix New World, an engineering company. And he went out and stayed into Phoenix, and where he started his career and, and everything. So one last thing I want to put out about my son is personal for me. No, I only can speak for myself. Of course, he has experiences with his mother. He has experience with his siblings, his grandparents. But this is experience that I have personally about my son. One thing I observe about my son, the youngest son, he also have a big heart for his family. One thing is for sure, during the COVID, everybody know we all had to stay home, so we all experienced the stay home thing. And when as soon as that thing was lifted just a little bit, Daniel traveled from Arizona to see his grandparents, and he stood outside the window. Hey, I'm not coming in your house, but he stood outside the window just to see his grandparents to keep them safe. But you know what? That's the way he is. He's a person since I've seen him as a baby. He kind of, even though he has some disruption with his siblings, but when it comes to everybody as he was growing up, he always been that person that stand in the gap whenever he sees some disagreements going on. He would stand in the gap, and he would bring peace between us. Also, one thing that I miss about my son as well, he's very inquisitive. He and I would always have our 3-hour conversations, no matter what time of day it is, or whatever. It could be a night, day, or whatever. I just know if Daniel's called me, and if I don't answer, he know the reason why, because I'm doing something, and I know if I answer that phone, it's gonna be a 2-hour conversation. So I have to be prepared for that. I have to be ready for that. So he knows that, hey, I send him tell, hey, I'm gonna call you back because I have to make sure I got everything off the board before I say, hey, first I say, hey, look, everything okay? Are you good? Yeah, I'm good. I just want to talk. Okay, I'll call you back. So the 2-hour conversation is what I miss with Daniel. He's always inquisitive, like I said, always asking me questions. He telling me about his dreams and aspirations. His goal is to be a millionaire before he's turned 30. He also wants to travel abroad. He loves cultures and people. He want to know everything about everybody. He want to be a part and immerse himself into that. He loves geology, you guys, as you guys can see through the pictures that you have seen. His rock hiking that he like to do, the rock collections that he have. He like to be around nature. He go hiking, like I said, with his siblings, and also he like to go to the beach. He like to be around water, but I guess he don't like to be around water as much as I do because he chose Arizona. But the thing is, that's one of the things I miss about my son. And I also want to tell you guys, thank you again for being here on this virtual candlelight visual for Daniel. I will start off everything again, you guys. I just want to give a prayer, not just for what happened for me and my family, but I want to give a prayer to Mr. Petito here, Catherine here, Miss Nunez, and all the other families that's out there listening to me right now, and the ones that's not listening to me, because there's many families out there that need our support, need our love. So I want you guys, if you will, please bow your head with me in this prayer as I go into a prayer and for these families. Heavenly Father, I thank you, Lord, for this day. I thank you for life, health, and strength. I thank you for protecting us, Lord, from seen and unseen dangers, keeping us in for the entire day, bringing us together in unity. God, you say with unity there comes strength. And I know, Lord, that everybody that's here today have an open heart and open mind, and they're out here to do good. They're out here to find ways they can help these families out here who have missing loved ones. As in this country, we have thousands of people go missing every day, Lord, and you know where each and every last one of them are. We just need answers. We need, Lord, to be led into the right place. We need directions. We need you, Heavenly Father, to put us in the right place in the right time. Touch those people heart who know something, those who have something they have seen. Bring it back to their memory so they can share it with us, Lord. Bless my family as we're going through this pain today. It's been 2 years since Daniel has been missing. It's been very troubling for our family. It's been troubling for me, Lord. Thanks for carrying me through these 2 years, making it, Lord, because some would not have even been able to make it this far with the stressors. You know what we have to go through when we're looking for our loved ones. So thank you, Heavenly Father, for keeping us, Lord, keeping the families that hear my voice right now, what they have to go through with their loved one. There's many have loved ones that have been missing over 20 years, over 30 years and more, and they still feel the same way as it if day one. Heavenly Father, touch their heart, bless their minds. Also bless those, Heavenly Father, who are listening to my voice, who came out here to help other families, who have empathy for others, who love others, who want to share, who want to be a part. Bless them, Heavenly Father. You know their needs, you know their desires, you know what's going on in their life. Sometimes we look at other problems, we think one problem is bigger than the other. We all have problems, and Heavenly Father, I ask you, Lord, to bless them as well. Bless us all. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for everything. Amen. Thank you, guys. I truly appreciate you for joining in with me, the prayer, and I really thank you so much for doing the candlelight visual with me. I will leave my candle lit, you guys, and I will be talking with the families and you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, thank you, Mr. Petito, again for being here. Thank you, Katrina, also for being here. Mr. Petito, you were saying something earlier you wanted to share, and I wanted to make sure you'd be able to get in as well.
Yeah, no, I wanted to make sure other cases were put out there. So because I don't see the stories being shared and whatnot. The first one, do you want to put? Do you? I don't know, David, if you put the slide, if you had slides set up for it or whatnot. But
Oh yes, yes, that's right. That's
the
right. I
first
can
one
do that for you. Yes, sir.
is Kendra Patello. She's been missing since July 5th in 2022 in Eden, Oklahoma. So let's see. I don't know if you have that picture yet. We'll have you get
Okay,
that.
let's see if I can go up here. Okay, yes, I do have that for you. What I would do, Mr. Petito, I'm going to share a screen with you, and we'll talk about it there.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
So one of the things that's important too is that when you have someone missing, there's a lot of sites and whatnot, and unfortunately, currently you want to go to as many as you can, but there are sites that I noticed that I go on and stuff like the NamUs site, the NCMEC site, stuff like that, where you don't see pictures, and it's really hard to help find someone if you don't know what you're looking for, So I will stress that to everybody is, if you do have someone missing, get as many pictures as you can and put them up everywhere as you can. So this way people can grab those pictures. So there's Kendra right there. Like I said, it's been missing since July 5th. 2022 in Eden, Oklahoma. So that's, there's someone that needs to come home pretty safe, safe and sound right away. So
That's right.
The next one would be Revnivia Owens.
Could I mention one thing? I want to put out her information real quick if you don't
sure,
mind.
Please.
Kendra, Nicole, thank you so much. If I say her name wrong, please help me with these names. I will butcher her name really bad, and I promise you guys, I'm sorry about that. Patello, thank you so much. Miss Patello is missing, you guys. You guys have any tips on her whereabouts? You can call 1-833-560-2065. It says here that Kendra Nicole Patello went missing on July the 5th of 2022 and was last seen in Enid, Oklahoma.
Yep.
The Enid Police Department and BIAOJS missing and murdered unit is seeking your assistance with any information regarding the whereabouts of Kendra Nicole Botello. You guys, last known location again is in Oklahoma, and her status right now is still open. It's not a closed case. It's not a cold case, you guys. And also, her agent name is Vincent Marcelino. Vincent Marcelino. And also, the investigating agency in the police department. Again, it's the BIA OJS missing and murdered unit. You guys, thank you so much for that. Yeah, the next one you said, Mr. Petito,
is Revnivia Owens. Been missing. She's 16 years old.
Yes.
Been missing since June 22nd of this year in Lando Lakes, Florida. I think it's in Pasco County. When it's any missing person hurts, but when it's a child,
Yes.
she's 16. That's a baby in my eyes, And so, listen, her family needs help. Definitely need to get her home safe and sound as fast as can be. So please memorize that face. I don't have the phone number in front of me. I can't see the screen. I don't know if you have the phone number in Pasco County.
I can get it for you. Yes. The missing person. Yes. Miss Owens. She's been missing out of Pasco. I guess Pasco County.
Pasco County. You know what? I can see it now. So she was last seen on June 22nd around 8 p.m. in the Tapestry Park Drive area of Lando Lakes, Florida. And that's in Pasco County. She was last seen wearing a black and white shirt and black pants. If you have any information on the whereabouts, please call the Pasco Sheriff Non-Emergency Line at 727-847-8102. Looks like option 7. You can also report tips online at thepascosheriff.com/tips.
That's right. Thank you so much. Thanks so much, Mr. Petito. And
we have zoom in a little bit. I don't know if my glasses are there somewhere, but I think behind
I'm the same way.
It's so bad.
Yes, sir. I think we have yes, right here.
And then the last one is Ashante Aaron, missing since April 9th of this year in St. Paul, Minnesota. Again, I gotta zoom here. I'm sorry here.
I would get that for you, Mr. Petito, if you need me to.
No, that's all right. It's all right. What is it? She's 5'3". No, it's too blurred out. I don't know, Dave, if you want to give that a shot there.
Miss Aaron. Miss Aaron is missing. Her case type endangered and involuntary. Date of birth is October the 5th, 2000. Missing date April the 9th, 2023. She's 22-year-old now. Missing out of St. Paul, Minnesota. They have a case number here as well. Gender, she's a female, a black female. Medium complexion. Height is 5'4". She's 130 pounds. Her hair is black. Her hair length is short. Her eyes is brown, and she don't have anything of contacts or glasses. But location last seen was Ashante was last seen on April the 9th at the Oxborough Urban Rentals, located located in the 200 block of 7th Street West. I guess that's in that same city. Circumstance of disappearance: Ashante's family believes she was a victim of exploitation and being held against her will. It is also believed that an unknown person is in possession of her cell phone and is reaching out to her friends and family, attempting to extort money from them. That's very heartless. On top of that, So, yes, thank you so much, Mr. Petito, for bringing this to our attention.
Yeah, so I mean, like stories like these, and these, like I said, these are the most recent ones that that struck me, and that's what I try to do. I try to see stories that strike me, and I'll just make sure I get shared. But again, I can't stress it enough. Take as many pictures as you can. Make sure they're on the websites. It's such a long process, and it's such a pain to do. But you have to. I mean, David, you know it.
Yeah.
You got to make sure all the information's right, all the numbers are right. So this way, they're going to call the right lines. So if you see a story again and it strikes you, I like to lead by example. Please, share it out there because that's the way people are going to get it, and everybody deserves the same attention.
Thank you. Yes, sir. I do have one here as well. Katrina, if you want to elaborate as well. Katrina. Okay, I don't know. We lost Katrina.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
I'm
All
sorry.
right.
I,
That's
I
okay.
kind of
No,
got off.
no, that's okay.
Mr. Petito, I thank you so much for putting out all of those other people that are missing, because that's what we need. We need to um, talk about all the families of the missing and how we can help them. Thank you. Um, and I have to thank you as well, Mr. Robinson, for taking this time to again help us get the people of the missing, their face and their case out into the open. Um, so I have 3 people missing in my family. I am originally from Florida as well, born and raised. I actually came up to Indianapolis because for my own mental health, I had to get away from where all my family members were missing from. The picture that you have up is my sister Kaya Taylor, who went missing February 6th of 2020. Kaya was 28 at the time that she went missing. Um,
Take your
she,
time.
I'm sorry,
Oh, take your
uh,
time.
she dropped her boyfriend off on at a friend's house on Cowart Road in Plant City, Florida. Her car was actually found a mile and a half from where she dropped him off. The police, well, a citizen called the police, saw her car running abandoned on a railroad track, and they called the police, and the police got her car and moved it to the side of the road where it sat for 3 days. Her cell phone was on the ground. Um, her driver's side door was open, and that's where her cell phone was found on the ground. So they put her keys, excuse me, not her keys, her phone into the car. They got a truck to move her car to the side of the road, and again, it sat there for 3 days. They did not realize that she was actually missing. And when her mom, this is my sister, but we have the same dad, different moms. When they called, when her mom actually called and they realized that she was missing, they, her mom had already drove the car home. It, it was it was a crime scene. But actually, when they told her that she could drive it home, the crime scene was contaminated. But they did take her car. They did fingerprint it and things like that. And they said that there was no fingerprints that were abnormal or any persons that Kaya did not know um, in the car. That's pretty much what I have about my sister. That's it. We don't know anything else. Well, let me backtrack. So when Kaya's mom got her phone, she went through it, and the last Facebook message from Kaya's phone was to her boyfriend, and it said, I see you sent your white supremacist friends to get me. You think you're smart, but I'm smarter. We have now found out that Kaya's boyfriend is a member of the Aryan Brotherhood. Um, and I personally don't think that he knew that Kaya was actually biracial until our dad died. And again, our dad is black. She was taking pictures with the black side of her family, and he had to do something about that. Well, and that's where we are with Kaya's case. Kaya has not been seen or heard from since February 6th of 2020.
Well, yes, yes, I'm so devastated to hear that. I know that pain. I know that pain, Katrina. And Mr. Petito as well. He can relate. The pain that families we have to go through. Uh, my heart goes out to your family, and it's rough. And you told me you have two other missing loved ones as well. But I want to say real quick, if you don't mind, if I could play the video here for the audience and for everybody who can share some intention and some information that comes along.
Uh, can you hear me, Miss Petito?
I hear you.
Okay.
I think we lost everybody.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm
Um,
so sorry what you're going through.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I truly do.
I I'm sorry. And then it's two other members too, huh?
Yes.
I
I
don't even
have
know
an
what to say to that. There are no words. I'm sorry.
yeah. I have an 18-year-old cousin that went missing, and my brother-in-law that also went missing.
Wow.
So I follow you a lot, and I respect you. And I have to say this, and I do not want you to take this in any. I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I actually use Gabby in a lot of the speeches and talks that I give about missing people,
Good.
especially Black and Brown people, and especially in Florida. Florida being now the third
Yep.
state in the nation for missing people.
I,
And
I moved here from Long Island, so it's now we're the third most populous state.
absolutely, absolutely. But you know what? Florida is the third largest from California and New York.
Yep.
So
Well,
that
we overtook New York now too.
yeah, I heard that. I heard that. Uh,
But
we have to do
there are
something.
problems the way it's portrayed, and the way you see things in the media, and even the way that it's shared.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Absolutely.
so no, I don't take that the wrong way. And it's my understanding that a lot of law enforcement are using that video. That when she got pulled over, I haven't watched the whole thing, but it's my understanding that they're using that in their trainings, and
Oh,
and we
that's good.
and, and we encourage it. Listen, if
Absolutely.
you can use it as a learning tool,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
it's the best thing that could happen. On a bad situation like that, I mean, that's what else can we ask for? So by all
Agree.
means, please do. How you doing, David?
It's sad when you get kicked off of your own platform. My computer literally just shut down on me. It is cut off on me. I had to reload and reboot and everything else, and then it took this time to load back up. So I apologize to you and everybody who's
It's
listening.
okay.
I just need a new computer. I believe I do.
We were having
Me
a
too. We were
Yeah, but
chatting.
thank you so much.
yeah, we were having a very
Yeah,
good
thank you
conversation,
for going for me.
and I think I can learn a lot from Mr. Petito. Um,
Yes.
I
even
can
though
learn a
I
lot from you
have
guys.
those,
So
no, you listen. Even with the
Yes, you're
three
doing a
people that
wonderful
are
job.
missing in my family, I still do not know how to get FBI involved.
neither do I. You know what? It's not. Yeah. Listen, It's from my understanding, it was, where the lines were, and they were so close they couldn't tell. It's really, what it was. One's got nothing to do with the other. But the public awareness, the more you can get out there, and I know it's hard. I know I'm extremely fortunate. I get it, and I'd be lying otherwise.
Mhm.
But it call as many companies as you can, and that's the thing. Like, you guys know how this works. You call as many companies, platforms as you can. Get on the NamUs site. Get on the neck. If it's a child under 18, you get on the NECMEC site. As many, there are state missing person sites that you want to go to, and it's so tedious. It's such a pain because you got to upload all the information over and over and over. I will say, me personally, the faster you can get them up into the NamUs site is
Mhm.
important, and I'll tell you why. Because a lot of other places will pull from that site, and they'll all have the accurate information, and that's
Right.
the key thing. Like, there were many places that had different numbers for Gabby in terms of height and weight and birth dates and ages and stuff. So
Mhm.
having all the accurate information is kind of important. So,
That's right. That's
and
right.
And,
Yeah.
again,
and
pictures.
it's kind of hard when their races, they're like Kaya, she's biracial. So on Namus it says she's white, but she's being portrayed with her black side of the family and her white side of the family. And it's kind of hard to say, oh, okay, let's use Namus that says she's white. And then when you want to use it with black and brown different agencies, they're like, no, Namus says she's white. It's
Hmm.
really hard. It's really
Yeah,
hard.
yeah, and I get that, and it's a shame that race does play a factor.
Exactly.
It angers me more than I can say on a platform like this. But I said it before, and me and David have spoken, and I just said it to you. I lead by example. I can't force people to do things that that they don't want to do. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to lead and share as many stories that, again, that touch me,
That's right.
and share them out as much as I can. And I'm hoping people do that. I have seen, and and David and I talk about this. I have seen an uptick in missing person flyers, missing person stories, throughout in different areas, on social media, on national news and stuff like that. So that's horrible and great at the same time, you know. But um, we got to do more of it, and this is how we do our part, and that's what I firmly believe.
That's right.
Thank
One thing I
you.
want to really put in as well, if I could try that video one more time for you, Katrina, because I want to get your other two
Yes.
loved one as well, and share their stories, because what you told me as well, that's very shocking, to have three people missing in your family, and definitely want to make sure we getting their stories out there. Somebody knows something, Mr. Petito. You can bet somebody knows answers, and we just got to seek those answers, and make sure that those people will reach out and say something. Say something. So again, I want to really try this one more time. If I get kicked off again, you guys, I apologize. That was very outrageous to me. So, but you know what? That gave an opportunity for you two to be able to talk, and I really appreciate. I've been watching you guys while my computer was loading up. I was watching you guys in the background. Look wonderful, beautiful on that screen together. I just want to say thank you so much for keeping it going and everything going while I was away. But here we go again. We're gonna try this again, you guys.
Can you guys hear it?
I cannot.
I can't hear you either, Mr. Robinson. For some reason, you went out.
Yes. Let me try this again, you guys. I'm definitely not an expert. But we're gonna get this thing rolling. we're
It's
gonna
all
get this
right.
thing
I,
rolling.
I,
So,
I have tech issues all the time. This is why there are departments for
Exactly.
companies
yes,
for this.
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I'll go try this one more time, and we're gonna get it right. We're gonna get this thing going because I definitely want your loved one's story out there. We're going to make sure that your story is being heard. So here we go. All right, there we go. Should work this time.
How often do you hear about our black and brown girls missing? You don't hear that very often. It could be you. I could be talking to you now and then you're gone.
Katrina Overstreet's sister, Maya Taylor, went missing February 6, 2020. The now 29-year-old was last seen in Plant City, Florida.
So it's not just about my sister, it's about everybody's safety.
A few hours after Kyle dropped her boyfriend off, her car was discovered on train tracks near his home. The vehicle was left running and Kaya's personal belongings were inside. Instead of considering any potential
Okay, I think I'm getting some freeze up. Are you guys getting freeze up on your end?
Yes, sir.
I am, yeah.
I apologize again, you guys. Just what I want to do is continue to talk about your sister, and put out information whatever information that we can to make sure we're sharing your sister's story. That I think that's important, Katrina.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Again, her name is Kaya Taylor. It's Cieha. She again came missing out of Plant City, Florida, February 6th of 2020. Her car was found running, abandoned on the railroad track with her driver's side door open with her cell phone on the ground. A passerby called the police, and the police came, put her cell phone in the car and moved it to the side of the road where it sat for 3 days. Again,
Okay.
when you're looking for a missing person, the first 24, 48, 72 hours are the most important. And she didn't have that. Her car was a crime scene, which was contaminated by police, by our family, unknowingly that she was missing. Again, she was 28 years old when she went missing. So, I mean, you don't talk to your 28-year-old sister, daughter, cousin every single day. But once we knew she was missing, we went out looking. The police told us, don't look, because they wanted to actually go and look. So they had helicopters, 2 hounds that actually went to look for her. Texas EquiSearch actually said that they would go and look. Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office said no. They would not allow them to look for her. Any pro bono help that has tried to look for Kaya, Hillsborough County Sheriff has said no. In Florida, and I don't know if it's in Florida period, but in Hillsborough County, you have to have the permission of the sheriff's office to actually call FBI in. Hillsborough County said that they can't ask for FBI because what they're doing is exactly the same thing that FBI would do. So that's where we are with Kaya's case. Again, no updates, no, nothing. I I don't even know how to explain it. There's just nothing. Of course, I'm her sister. Her mom is still alive, but our dad has been recently deceased. So her mom is the legal next of kin. So she has access to everything. Again, on her paternal side, we don't have that unless Kai's mom gives that to us. And Mr. Petito, I don't know if this has happened with your family, but when you have a tragedy that happens in your family, most families disconnect. They go through different issues. And unfortunately, that has happened with us.
It's hard. Hard on everybody.
Yeah, I can vouch for that one too.
It's really hard on everybody. And
That's right.
those are the things that people don't talk about.
Yeah. And that's why I started the Missing Struggle, because people don't know the struggle that the family members also go through.
That's right.
I'll go on. I apologize.
No, take your time.
Me as her sister, she also has an older sister and two younger brothers. One brother that she has not met yet because he was adopted out, and we just found him after she actually went missing. But we have to come together to try and help other family members and get their names and their cases out. So that's why we are in this. I don't know if you can see it. The Missing Struggle. Kaya went missing February 6th of 2020. Veronica Reyes Diaz actually went missing 3 weeks before Kaya went missing, 6 miles away from where Kaya's car was found. And if we can get that video up, Kaya and Veronica Reyes Diaz look more alike than what me and Kaya look alike. So we have a mom of 3 that went missing 3 weeks, 6 miles away from where Kaya's car was found. Just out of the blue, we don't know where she is either. We also have Kelly Diaz, who also went missing 1 year, March of 21, that went missing again.
Is that one of the babies? That's one of the babies that you sent to me?
No, this is one of the 3 women that are missing in a 6-mile radius of City. Yeah. And they all look alike. They have dark hair, fair skinned, Vasquez, Diaz, Taylor being of mixed race. Something's going on in Plant City, Florida. Something. And I have to talk about them in regards to my sister because, again, it's the 6-mile radius and they all look alike. They all look alike. Something's going on. I don't know if it's Hillsborough County Sheriff's is not seeing it, but they need to. A lot of people say we do not need to bring all these cases together, but we do. We do. Right. We have to. Hillsborough County is like, it's small. It's very small. So why are all these people going missing in that area?
That's right.
That's my plight with that. As far as my other family members, Tanaya Leonard was 18 months old when she went missing from Bartow, Florida, which is in Polk County, which is about 10, 12 miles away from Hillsborough County. Her mom, who was young at the time, actually took Tanaya to her dad to stay with him while she went out with friends. Kind of sounds like Veronica. When she went to go and pick up Tanaya, He beat her up. I mean, like lost teeth, blood, everything. Tanaya has never
Wow.
been found since then as well.
That's
Yeah, Johnny Hunt went missing in 2019. He was coming from Tennessee and coming to Georgia to see his mom. The He was with his girlfriend traveling at the time. The girlfriend said dropped that she dropped him off. I'm sorry, on one of the exits of Highway 70, and he has not been seen since then as well. So it,
and you said it's all in the same city, is what I'm tracking.
well, except for Johnny. Johnny, I mean, lived in Florida but moved to Tennessee, and then when he came down to Georgia to meet his mom, to see his mom, we haven't heard from him since. His mom is now deceased. She died in December, and never knew what happened to her son.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. And you also have, I want to put the pictures up here that you share with me, if you don't mind.
of course.
Um, you can tell me who they are as well.
That's Johnny. That's Johnny. That's Johnny. That's my brother-in-law. That was my that's that's my brother. I mean, I know his mom was married to my dad, but that's my brother. That's my brother. He checked on my dad, or our dad, more than more than we checked on him. I mean, he went fishing with daddy. Yeah, that's my brother.
And let's see here. You say when he went missing. You told me he went missing a certain
2019.
2019. Anybody have any information as well? And it was in the same city, if I'm not mistaken, as well. What city was he missing from?
Actually, we don't know.
Oh, you
Again,
don't know. Okay.
he came from Tennessee to Georgia to meet up with his mom and his other brother, and she said she dropped him off at Highway 70 exit somewhere. So we really don't know.
Okay. Then we have the baby girl.
That's Tanaya. That's Tanaya Leonard. That's the one that I said her mom took her to her dad's house while she went out, and when she went to go pick her back up, she's nowhere to be found. That's Tanaya.
Yes. Then we have more pictures of her here, assumingly with her mother,
Yes.
and as well as
Yeah.
another picture of her as well. What year did she go missing again?
2004, 14, I believe. She would have been 22 by now.
Oh,
I think that's right. I'm sorry.
oh no, that's okay. That's okay. Yes. Very hard, very hard. Yeah, I know you were telling me when you're coming on, you agreed to come on this evening. I wasn't unaware there was two other people missing in your family, and now you're also recognizing many more in your communities that is missing. And this one thing that Mr. Petito, he's been a champion on as well, is putting it out on social media of every day people going missing all across this country, thousands of people a day. Sometimes I guess until we have a loved one missing, not everybody, 'cause we have many people here tonight, but I can't say for myself, it's been uh, uh, alien for me to hear about missing people unless I saw it on a big story on the news. Outside of that, I didn't know it happens like that. Once I got involved because of my son, I run into missing people with missing loved ones all the time. Of course, caused me have to go look, and it's amazing. It's devastating to even look at the numbers of people that's missing out there with no answers. And the stories that you hear a lot of times nobody know about. So again, yes, I can understand uh, things that coming from every angle where you at from your community, and then also hitting you right at home with your family. But I also want to share real quick, you guys, with the screen, if I can. I did a cheat sheet here, you guys, and I want to make sure I can see Mr. Petito. I don't have glasses either, so it'll be kind of difficult for me. But I will read this
I
here.
know. I had someone bring him to me. I turned my camera off to do it.
So what I did is try to put a little sheet together here for everybody who may be listening. You may have a missing loved one. You have a missing loved one. Put it in the chats, you guys, and put see if I can put um, a exclamation point before your missing loved one story. If you guys have any information that you want to put in the chat about a missing loved one that you may have, or if you want to come in also over this live, but if you have a missing loved one that you have, you can actually put an exclamation point as I come. I can go down the chat real quick and see if I can find you and post your information here on the screen. But this is a missing love sheet. I call it a missing loved one help sheet that I like to call you guys. And if you guys can see this, I hope everybody can. But one thing reason why I put this together, it's not everything I would like to tell families who have missing loved ones, what they've made. And Mr. Petito and also Katrina, you probably can help me out on this if some things that I am missing here at the beginning. But one thing is due diligence is what I wanted to put out, you guys. 9 times out of 10, and I put this first because this is directed to law enforcement, because law enforcement have these officers that will tell you often that you have to wait 12 hours, 24 hours, whatever that may be. They'll tell you to wait, and 9 times out of 10, like I put here, 9 times out of 10, a family member has already taken the steps to be sure that their loved one. We know our loved one. We know their patterns. We know things that is not right. This is the first steps to finding them. Is information gathering, as you were saying, Mr. Petito, putting out. Make sure you're getting all the photos to you name it, all that kind of stuff together. The second thing is no brainer. You guys call law enforcement. Call your local police department first. Wherever you're living, I say you need to reach out to that law enforcement department because you don't know. You may hear a story say, "Hey, your loved one's over here," but it could have been over here. So I think you should go with your first law enforcement where you live, and then ask for their assistance along with, and if it's relevant, if that is relevant, call the department that has jurisdiction of your area where your loved one was last seen. So that's when you call the other department as well. Where if you hear information, like in my son's case, he was in an area called White Tank Mountains, and that's the reason why I got pushed over to the Buckeye Police Department. Do not let do not let law enforcement tell you that you have to wait a minute to file a report, you guys, because like in my son's case, there's no such policy of the Buckeye Police Department. You're looking at policy, they do not even ask people to wait a minute to report their loved one missing, but yet they told me to wait 12 hours. I had to wait the full 12 hours. If LE tell you this immediately, ask for their policy where this information can be found. Most law enforcement agencies do not have such policies. Once the report is taken, immediately ask for the case number and have them add your loved one to the NCIC database if it's relevant. If it's relevant, you add them also to the Amber, get them put out an Amber Alert, a Shanti Alert. You guys network, it's alert as well. Some people don't know about the Shanti network, but also add them to the Shanti network. But also put out a Silver Alert if it's relevant to your missing loved one, if they're elderly or child. Take a name of the officer or detective who will be handling your loved one's case. Also, if your loved one is an adult, you can request the law enforcement agency share your loved one information with the Ashanti Alert network. That's something I did not know. I wish I would have known now. But that's because the shelter network, since they do not take missing adult reports directly, but they do accept it, but they had to go through other channels to get there. It has to be indirectly through the law enforcement, through your local law enforcement, local state law enforcement agency, and tribal agencies. Have law enforcement produce a flyer, you guys. That's the next step that can be used on local channel news channels, printed for distributions for the community, as well as used on social media. You guys, law enforcement does this as well. A lot of people we don't know that, but they need to build a flyer as well. When you are have law enforcement to initiate the NamUs, as you were speaking of, Mr. Petito, have them do a DNA swab of you if you are next of kin, and also get a copy of your loved one's dental record. The next thing I want to put on here, and you guys can help me after this point, Mr. Petito and Katrina, start your family website. That's one thing I found very important because I'm a military guy, and I say this often, you guys. Communication is key. That's one of the biggest things you can do to get the community engaged and start your family website. Your family website is an important step in the foundation needed to help locate your loved one and engage the public. A website is a hub where families that are ready to help can have a centralized location for important information about your loved ones. They could donate their time, their skills, and much needed resources. Also utilize pictures and bring life into who your loved one is, you guys, because that's what this website will do. Give a backdrop of the circumstances of their disappearance, and lastly, add information on how you, law enforcement, officer, detective in charge of your loved one case can be contacted with information that a tipster may have. So, if you guys want to add something else to that I may have missed, but those are some of the things that I think is crucial at the beginning when you have a missing loved one.
Mr. Petito, I think you're the best one to answer these questions. I do have a couple of things, but I think you're the best one to go with this.
Okay. I was going to go with the ladies first. Couple things that I have, start the web page, but start social media pages on all the platforms. I'm not a tech savvy person. I'm going to tell you, I'm not. I believe in percussive maintenance. Here's my phone. Don't care. I don't do good with technology. Technology doesn't like me. But have a friend, family member, whatever you got to do. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, Reddit. You go to as many as you can. And not only do you want pictures, videos. And you want to have videos at the ready for if you do get a news story and stuff like that. Those videos do more for it to be on TV, if that makes sense, because they show movement, not just a picture and someone saying, here, this is someone's missing. You hear their voice, you see their movements, and people can relate to that at that point. So if you do have videos, have that on the ready as well, because it will be important, it will be utilized, especially when it goes out to the media.
Love it.
That's what I got.
Absolutely agree with that. The first thing I would say is do not put your personal number out there. There are so many scam artists that will tell you, I have your missing loved one. I need such and such money. Do not put your personal number out there, period. There's just too many scam artists out there. Secondly, when your loved one has come missing, it is important that you reach out to where they actually came up missing from. That was an issue with Kaya. Kaya was, how do I say this? Kaya, where she went missing from and where she lived were two different counties. You need to talk to the sheriff's office of where they actually went missing from. Mr. Petito, do you feel the same way? I mean, did you talk to Florida? Are you in Florida?
I am in Florida. I moved from Long Island. I couldn't do the snow anymore. I needed palm trees.
I understand. I understand. So did you call your local law enforcement, or did you? Well, she was kind of like all
So
over.
we had an issue getting the missing person report filed. Florida has the law, or again, I'm assuming law because that's what I was told, that it's the last known location. And we were calling Utah at the time, and they have the person's physical residence at the time. So it was back and forth, back and forth. It was a hard time. Nikki was able to finally get one of her friends and went down to the police department in New York, and they're the ones that actually filed the police report.
Gotcha.
State of New York, yeah. So,
Gotcha.
and that's the most crucial part.
Yeah.
Is getting that. So, do what you have to get that missing person report within the law, but do what you have to get that missing person report, because that's like I said, there's certain places like the Ashanti Alert and what that will not even engage until that report's filed.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. And last but not least, you again have to push it on social media. I think, and this is just my mind frame, it may be different from anyone else, the police are not going to help us find our missing. It's going to be the community. So who is our community? The places that we live, and social media. So you push it on social media, you put it in the community that you live in, you put it in the community that they went missing in. That is the key.
Yeah.
I have no hope in the justice system, period. They moved my sister's car to the side of the road. They told her mom to take the car home. That contaminated the whole scene. I have no hope for them whatsoever. The people that are going to find all of my missing family members is the community. So for me, we need to push this hard. Social media, we have to push it hard in the community that they went missing in the community that we live. Again, I always say it's not about Kaya, it's not about Tanaya, it's not about Johnny, it's about all missing persons everywhere. So when I move from Florida to Indiana, I'm going to push it in Indiana. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to help those that have no voice, and I'm going to help them push it as much as I can, period. We have to get the community involved. That is that's our safe place. That we have to. I can call the president of the United States right now. He can't help me find Kaya. He can't help me find Johnny. He can't help me find Tanaya. But those people on the street, they can help us. We have to be in tune with the street. We have to be in tune with street organizations. We have to be in tune with our community. We have to help our community. We have to help the kids go to school with backpacks and things to fill those backpacks. That's what we have. We have to do this. No one else is going. Mr. Petito, I have the utmost respect for you, but not Gabby Petito, not Daniel Robinson, not Alicia Navarro. No one is going to help us find our missing people like the community. And if we don't give back to the community, they're not going to help us. I'm sorry. I feel that way.
I can't disagree. I mean, I had a really large community, and I was very fortunate for that. Me, Tara, Jim, Nikki, all of us, we were very fortunate for that, and there, all you guys and all the people that supported us is one of the reasons why we're doing what we're doing when it comes to domestic violence and the missing. Because, I mean, what type of person would I be if I don't return that favor? I mean, that's everyone on this planet, for the most part, was tremendous to me, and us. So, yeah, no, I'm going to spend the rest of my days making sure I get as many people's voice, picture out there as I can.
Absolutely.
That's
And I thank
right.
you for that.
I want to point out real quick, Katrina, when you were speaking, I was listening, and your stories sound so familiar when it comes to your experience with law enforcement, contaminating the scene, things like that. As you know, in my son's case, it's a similar situation. The vehicle's found on July the 19th, July 20th. They hand the vehicle over to me. I had to force them. To hold a vehicle for 3 days, not to tow it out of there, and I paid the storage fee they threatened me with. But the thing is, once they held it for those 3 days, in those 3 days, I was able to force them to do some forensics on the vehicle. They didn't do any forensics on the scene. Had I not came to Arizona and fought for my son, there wouldn't have been no forensics on anything.
Right.
First of all, but they did a limited forensics. Exactly what I asked for. I asked for fingerprinting. They did swabbing of just a steering wheel and a shifter. But as you said, the vehicle, the crime scene has been contaminated. They broke chain of custody, giving me the
Mhm.
vehicle at the time, and then at the same time, when they realized what they did, they had me sign for the vehicle to get taken out of there. But the thing is, like I said, just the way they did things. They pulled the vehicle from the scene and they just put everything in the bag marked for safekeeping. That means that Daniel, with all the devastation, they said they believe he had a severe brain injury. With all of that, they felt he's going to come back to it with his family, come back and grab his things in 118-degree desert out there with no clothes on, barefooted, with nothing. That kind of heartless move from law enforcement that will cause you to have no, where you put it, no faith in law enforcement. So it's really painful to have to fight for something it seemed it would have come a lot easier.
And I have to thank you again because a lot of us feel this way. I am a family member of the missing that tries to help others that don't have a voice or have not been heard, and we all feel that way. Again, Veronica, a mother of three, she just up and left her kids. No, no, Kelly, like, what do we have to do to get someone to listen to us? That's the
Yes,
question.
and that's why we're here tonight, what
Agreed.
Miss Petito's doing, as well as what
Thank
we're doing. You're doing, Katrina, on your channel. What I'm doing here, what everybody that's listening in now on this live is doing is sharing. Because I tell you what, like we know before, sometimes these cases are not heard. They're not taken seriously. I have found, as you guys know, like I said, if I haven't come to Arizona and I haven't been putting this pressure on law enforcement, I haven't been some people said digging down on them somehow. I'm not anti-police by a little stretch, but if I haven't done any of that, nothing would have been done. I mean, period. So I'm saying is when the communities get together, we have people that's been writing letters, been making phone calls, you name it. And when that tension come on law enforcement, of course they will put more actions into your loved one's case. So again, I think what you're doing, Mr. Petito, is very important. What you're doing as well, Katrina, is putting these stories out there for the community, because if that story goes cold, I mean, gets less attention and it goes quiet, then become a cold case. I mean, really easy. It's easy for law enforcement to throw it in the back closet and say we did all we can do.
but that's another problem. Um, when they don't when they don't release it and they say it's an ongoing investigation, there's a lot of people that can't go in and get answers for any of my. Again, my cousin went missing in 2014. It's not a they've not closed it, so we can't get any information for that either. So that's a very good point, Mr. Robinson.
Yes, sir. You have anything, Mr. Petito? And I want to tell you guys, thank you so much for being here for the Candlelight Visual. I really want to tell you thank you. I just also praying for you, Mr. Petito, you, Katrina, and also Miss Nunez. I want to tell you guys, Jessica tried to be here. There's some things that came up for her, and I want you guys to continue to keep her and her daughter and her children in your prayers. Keep her family in your prayers, in your prayers, because she need that. We all need that. She wanted to be here. with you guys to share her daughter's story. You probably saw me moving around when my computer dropped down. The video for Alicia went down too, and I'm sitting here trying to get it back, and now I can't find it, and can't get everything back up. So I want to apologize to Miss Navarro as well for not getting information. But if you guys can give me a moment, I can say that I would like to put her information on the bottom of the screen. This is something Ms. Nunez had been here on many occasions as well to share her daughter's story. So I will have that stroll on the bottom of the screen, you guys. If you guys have any information of the whereabouts of Alicia Navarro, please call 911 or the Glendale Police Department 623-930-3000 or the Anti-Predator Project at 305-796-4859. Again, Alicia, she went missing at 14-year-old. 14-year-old, she left a letter to her mother, Jessica, that she will be back. She had promised she will be back. She was stepping out and will be back. You guys know, as it appears, I wish Ms. Nunez was here to elaborate on this, but because I don't want to get it wrong. But what I remember is a sense that she was most likely drawn away from her home by an online predator. So you guys, you got to remember, Alicia is a child. And sometimes, children, we have children, we all were children, and we have children mind. I don't care. Sometimes we're 18-year-old, we'll run out. I can't wait till I'm 18-year-old, and but you still have a child's mind. This is a 14-year-old child. She was lured away from her home, as that's what the belief is, and about online predator. And so I'm telling you guys, make sure you watch your children and watch what goes online. When I heard the story, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes people say, "Well, have you been watching your children?" But who really watches like that? Sometimes you just don't know. My children was on social media when it started coming out like that. And in your wildest mind, you don't ever think that some adult will be predating on some little child online. Those some of the things that just don't come across your mind. So of course, you're thinking you may hear your children laughing and say, "Hey, they're talking to their friends." Ha ha! You give them a little space to be children. But sometimes you can't monitor everything. But this is definitely a child that went missing, and as it stands now, I think she's 18 now. You guys, it's been 4 years since she's been missing. And so definitely want to bring her back home. I wish I had the pictures up again. I want to apologize to Miss Nunez when the computer went down twice. And you probably noticed I disappeared again. It went down twice. Mr. Petito, I need a new computer. That's all to it.
We
yes,
all do. Mine went down. So before this all started, my computer was having issues. So I went to my laptop because
there you go.
it's just I'm not this tech savvy guy, so I'm not good.
That's right. Yes.
But
Yes.
I get
I'm
it.
a little tech savvy and I'm still having issues. So that happens. But I want to tell you both, thank you so much for being on tonight. I want to tell everybody who's here tonight, thank you. We do have some comments. I don't know how much time you have, Mr. Petito. I don't know, Trina, how much time you have. But there's people in the comment section that may have questions or may have made some comments that I kind of want to kind of skim me over and see. Those who have been on here before do know that I asked them if they have questions to put the word question, a capital letter Q, or question mark before your question. And as I'm coming down the comment section, I will be able to see your questions and comments. So I just want to put a few things up here. But if I can find some questions, you guys, I truly appreciate you guys for those questions, and also for those families, as I was saying before. This is a candlelight vigil. If you still have a family, a loved one that is missing, please by all means put that in the comment section as well. I would like to highlight that. And lastly, you guys, because I do talk a lot, Mr. Petito. Lastly, you guys, I will have another live running for those who are out in the West Coast. I'm going back and forth with it because I'm losing my voice. I can tell you guys if I'm going to actually do the live, or I'll be replaying this live we have tonight as a live for those who live out in California, for instance, and Arizona, because it would be at 8 o'clock p.m. your time. So again, you guys, I am going out of conversation. In the meantime, Mr. Petito and Katrina, if you guys want to continue your conversation, that would help.
I got nowhere to go. It's I mean, I would just ask that anyone that's listening or watching, or commenting there, to when you're on social media, be Facebook or Twitter or whatever, you come across a missing person, share it,
That's right.
and try and be conscious of the person you're sharing. Maybe they, share the ones that don't look like you too.
That's right.
That's the important thing, because there are statistics when you look at the numbers of shares based on the person that's in the picture, and those statistics bother me. So if the person doesn't
Yeah,
look
they
like
do.
you, share it too.
That's
Oh,
right. That's right.
oh, can we read her Stasa Petros? Can we read
Yes,
that
yes.
out loud?
Yes, Katrina, you are right. Mr. Petito knows there are many missing, most of color that don't get attention. I think I think it's why there is a Gabriel Petito Foundation to help all families, families that aren't heard, along with giving them guidance, help, and understanding ear. And you can elaborate on that, Mr. Petito. Yes, and we want to say give hand claps to her because you
Yes.
do have a foundation. We want to give you a hand clap as well. You have a foundation that is really geared to help other people. You want to elaborate on that one?
We have the Gabby Petito Foundation, and we help with domestic violence, and we help with missing people. Um, we see the disparity in the way things are shared and the way things are out there, and we're trying to bridge that gap. And if you don't believe it to happen, it's there. It really is. But again, I can't force people to do things. So what Jim, Nikki, I, Tara, what we're doing is we're leading by example. We're going to share everyone. And I hope people follow that suit, because it's a person's actions that determine how good, if they're a good person or not.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you.
No,
Yes.
and I appreciate it. It shouldn't have to be thanked. That's pretty common sense. And it's, look where we are in today's society. I mean, this is, we're people. The problem with people sometimes is people, but there are many more, and I firmly believe this. There are so many more good people than there are bad people. It's just
That's
that
right.
the bad people happen to have either, their stories seem to get more clicks for whatever reason, and that's why we hear about them more. But there are so many more good people. I mean, look at all the people that you're having in your chat. I mean, there are many more good people.
They are, and I saw many of them. I have reporters come to me and say, Mr. Robinson, how you were able to do 48, 49 weeks of desert searches out there, let alone some people can't get 4 or 5, the blessing is because of people, just like you said. You'll be amazed. And the condition that I had to do the searches in was a desert. You guys, can you imagine that people get in their car and say, "Hey, I'm going to take a ride and go out there in the desert where there's snakes out there, maybe, or this and that," And people showed up. I mean, by the hundreds, and I remember even when I started my flyer distribution, for instance. I didn't know how I was going to start it. God told me just go ahead and just do it. Get these flyers printed out, for instance, and people will come. It almost what I saw was that movie. You probably can relate to this, Mr. Petito. That movie that says if you build it, they would come. I can't remember. It's a baseball movie. I can't remember, but the name of it.
Mhm.
But it's a movie that say if you build it, they
They
would
will
come.
come.
And
Mhm.
so I
Is
went
it
out there
Field of
and did that.
Dreams? I think it was Field
Field
of
of
I
Dreams.
did
Dreams.
Field of
That's
Dreams.
it.
That's it.
Field of Dreams. That's it.
And
Y'all aren't
yeah, I went
old
out there
enough
and
to
did
know
it.
about that.
Yeah,
Y'all aren't
yeah.
old enough to know about that.
Oh yes, I do. I do. I
I
watched it when it first came out.
You're what? You're 50? Is that what
Me?
you said? Yeah, you. Is that
No,
what?
I'm.
Oh, I thought you said I'm
What am
50.
I? I'm 44. 44. I had to think about that for a second.
And
44.
Mr. Robinson, how old are you?
I'm not gonna put that out there. I'm not right
Well,
now.
I'll put it out there. I'm sorry. For me, I'm 50
I'm
as
old
well.
enough to watch the movie. I'll just put it that way. I'll let everybody else figure that one out. They put the math together. Say, okay, if you're watching that one, okay.
There is a question on the chat that I would like to answer, if
Yeah,
that's
sure.
okay. It was at
Yeah.
it was at 10:01 p.m. from PM channel.
Yes, PM channel. Yes, yes.
If you want to put, so there was a question there that I feel is important.
You said
So it says
10:01.
it looks like it was a 10:01 from PM channel.
Okay, okay, I must have missed that one. Yeah, PM channel is a person who has been supporting, really been supporting. So I really appreciate PM channel as well. I can see if I can find Mr. Petito.
Well, I'll just say it out loud, so it's all right. So the question is, Ms. Petito, was it discouraging hearing about the difference in treatment of people of color compared to the treatment of your daughter, and was it hurtful? And here's what I will say. I heard, I again, when someone's missing, you're going through social media as much as you can, and you're looking for tips, you're looking for stories, you're doing everything you can. Yes, I saw it. Yes, it was hurtful. I saw the Joy Reid story where she brought up Gwen Ifill and the missing white woman syndrome, and people might have gotten offended by the way that she said it, but she wasn't wrong. I mean, you can look at the statistics of the shares on certain sites. When your babies and children, they get shared the most, and then it's down the line from there. And, we all know the statistics. You can look it up and you can see it. So I encourage everyone that's watching, lead by example. Let's stop that from happening and share people that don't look like you, as well as stories that touch you. And if we all can do that collectively, that won't be an issue moving forward. But we have to lead by that example. That's the only way that will change.
That's right. That's right.
I would like to go back to another 1001 question that says,
I'm listening to these 1001s. I'm looking very hard here.
I'm sorry. Because this has been on my heart for a while. Saw a documentary on the American Indian movement, and they were talking about doing caravans and things like that. So 1001 Main C Yaga, which I am a part of, is Youth Against Gang Activity. How do we organize a nationwide awareness event, possibly even do a tour? That's key, because no one knows about the pandemic, which it is. More people go missing than people that have had COVID. How do we organize a nationwide awareness event? Mr. Robinson, I think it starts right here with what you're doing right now.
It does. Yes.
Mr. Petito, I think it has a lot to do with what you have done with the Petito Foundation. But how do we get everyone to make a noise so DC hears us, our state representatives hear us? How do we go about doing that? I would like to know that as well.
So I've worked with some legislators over the past year and a half or so. It's a slow process, but the process does move. Now, you'll want to do it on a local level and branch out from there. And it's got to be constant calls, constant meetings, constant talking back and forth, show them data, show them stories, show them as much as you can. But it's really, it's calling your local elected officials, because that's where it starts, and the more you can talk to, and branch out from there, figure out what counties you have, what legislators and elected officials are in those counties. And I'm not talking, mayors and stuff. I'm talking, House representatives. I'm talking, Senate representatives, not only on the state, but on the national level. That's how it works. You have to find someone that, that believes in your story and is willing to do that. And the good thing is, when it comes to the national side, when it's the House and the Senate, you're talking, 535 members, not including the vice president and the president, so it's at 537 at that point. Then you got all your state and elected officials, so the numbers just go out from there.
It does.
But coming together collectively, if people have ideas, we have ideas that we're trying to advocate for now, and in Florida, and you'll see some stuff come out later with that. But when it comes to missing, if someone has better ideas, shout them out from the rooftops. Tag me in them, tag David, in them, Katrina, tag you in them. I'm sure you guys will tag all of us in it, and repeat.
That's right.
And when those ideas make sense, that's when we all come together collectively. We did help find the missing act. I don't know if you saw that. I mean, David, we're talking about that before. That was a bill that was a bill for NamUs and stuff like that. That went national.
Yes,
it passed unanimously in the Senate, and then it passed 422 to 4 in the House. Went to Biden's desk and got signed. And what that did is make sure that anyone that enters into the NCIC will automatically get kicked over to NamUs within a couple weeks.
That's right.
So, I mean, there are things like that. If people have ideas, shout them out, and we'll see if we can get them to stick. I mean, that's how it happens.
That's right. That's right. Exactly how it happens. One step at a time.
I'm sorry. I have to totally disagree.
Okay, it's cool.
Honestly, only because when Kaya came up missing, I called every Hillsborough County. I called every news station that is on TV, on radio. It took me about 10 times to get Bay News 9. Oh, the only person, the only news station that actually came out and supported us. That was it. I called so many times, and it was just another girl that was missing. Locally in Florida, it does not work. We're going to have to do it nationwide to bring pressure on Florida.
Well, I'm up for
it. And I know you know that, Mr. Well, I know you know that.
I'm up for any idea that makes a difference.
Agreed. Yes. Agreed.
We're not going to stop. Katrina, listen, I've only known you for a little bit. We had to talk. Apparently, everyone else saw us talking, by the way. I had no idea. I don't know if you did. Just throwing that out there. But it doesn't seem like you're ever going to stop. Mr. Robinson, no. I know you're not going to be stopping anytime.
That's right.
So we're going to be in this together. And when we hear ideas, listen, we can bounce them off each other. Katrina, David's got my contact info. Feel free, David, to shoot it over to Katrina.
We will. We're community. I look at us as a family. Once we meet each other, I don't just would not like to let families go. We, like you said, build a community that you don't want to be a part of, but at the same time you are a part of, and you want to. When I say you don't want to be a part of, meaning that the tragedy that comes with being in this part of the family community. And I think that everybody I've met who have a missing loved one and go through tragedy as we are going, definitely our family for life. That's how I look at it.
So, and I have to say to both of you, please, what I am saying I am not trying to be confrontational. I am not trying. These are my own opinions only based on what I've been through. And I don't want you to take it I don't want you to think
we're good. We're good. Trust me. Okay. And that's again, being in situations like this, you learn the frustrations. Now, I didn't learn the frustrations like you guys, continue to, but don't think we didn't have them. You know what I mean?
Of course not.
Because of the stuff that I've learned, and I get all the stories, I hear all the frustrations, I see it. We're just trying to come up with ideas and ways to stop that from happening. And
that's right.
That's where us coming together is really going to make that difference.
Agreed. As a family, we can do this.
That's
absolutely.
Right. Yes.
Community. You said that. Say it again, Mr. Robinson. Community.
Right. The community. Absolutely. That's right. Building the community. And it takes a community. So. But I also wanted to say really quick, I seen someone in the chats. I can't really pull it out. I was looking for some information there about finding Jessie Farber. I hope I'm saying her name correctly.
Yes.
But that person is in the chat and make chatting out, and just want to make sure you weren't able to putting information out there about your missing loved one, and that I could share here. But again, you guys, thank you so much for being here with me, Mr. Petito, Katrina. I truly appreciate it, you guys, and joining in. And this is not the only time. You guys know I do it this every week. Say every Wednesday. So you always welcome to come on this live stream as well on Wednesdays. I do two, one in the morning and one in the evening.
That's
Oh, wow.
amazing. I didn't know that. I did
Yes.
not know that. Oh,
Yes.
count me in.
And like I said, the man doesn't stop. He's not
Awesome.
doing it anytime soon.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, we can't
amazing.
stop. Not when my son is out there somewhere. I definitely would not be able to. But I think everybody, like I said, who comes out and support this channel. I remember when I first started this channel. It's a young lady named Gisela K. She has Grizzly True Crime. She's out in the
Mm-hmm.
Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
She helped me build this channel at the beginning. I didn't know anything. All thing I knew about YouTube was to find out how to put a light bulb inside of something, or that type of share some videos with family. I didn't know people actually make videos and do things that, in a certain way. I've seen videos and I wanted to make singing videos or whatever the case may be, but never thought, people actually, put content, create things like that. So she was able to get me started. I mean, when I say I don't know how this woman does it, but she had gave me a full to do tutorial on how to get things going, and I only went through a little piece of it. So she went through take care and got me set up really nice, and I took off from there. So I want to give her that credit as well. But yeah, this channel has been going on for a while. It's been I remember it was only 10 people there, but now I think we're at about 2,000 people. But as you guys probably know, if you have a channel, it's very important for anybody who's here now to hit that like, share, subscribe button. And I say it all the time, is because it helped the algorithms grow the channel. And I see it as getting my son's story out there far, and as well as doing what we're doing tonight, getting other loved ones' story out there who comes on the channel, and so I can share those stories. So doing two things at one time, you guys. So that's what the channel is about. It's not an entertainment channel. It's definitely a channel to get information out by missing loved ones.
Amazing. Amazing. I'll definitely share this on all my groups as well.
I appreciate
I
that.
do. I actually interview families of the missing every other Thursday. I
Oh,
don't know
great.
how you do it twice. I don't know how
Well, it
you
was
do it.
every day, and I had my team to talk me down to one day. I had it hard. I'm telling you, Mr. T, like you said, I don't stop. I was doing it literally every day. I started off
Wow.
every day, and then it kind of break down from there, and finally gave in.
That's
So,
Yeah.
totally amazing. Totally amazing. I know when I first saw it come out, I was like, oh my gosh, I can relate. I can so relate to your son's case. Absolutely. You're amazing. You're
yes, we all are
whew,
amazing. We are amazing people.
how do you do
Just,
that?
yeah.
I'll tell you, like people say, like Joe, you're amazing. I'm like, no way. David Robert, that man's amazing.
Oh,
You know what
no,
I
no,
mean?
you got it, Mr.
So
Petito.
yeah, listen, there are people that have been fighting this fight for such a long time. I think Beth Holloway, Natalie Holloway's mom, I guess he just came back, and that story, 20 something years, so there's some tragic things out there, and coming together, I think it's just going to make that difference. I firmly believe that. And like I said, David, send my contact info over, because
Yes,
we
I
can
will.
do this. We can do this together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can do that. Thank you so much, you guys. I'm going ahead and do another prayer, you guys, and close out the candlelight visual. I want to say thank you guys for tuning in and listening to us discuss our families, as well as other families, and also, you guys just pray for us. It's still, it's still painful, you guys. It's painful to go through to having to miss a loved one. And again, I want to say apologize to Miss Nunez for losing her information. You guys, when I say losing information, the pictures that I wanted to put up along with everything else, she was unable also to be on here tonight. Something came up, and but she really wanted to be here to engage with us as well. and talk about some of the things like we were tonight. So again, I want you guys to pray for all of us, Mr. Petito, Katrina, families that are listening right now that do not have a voice out there. You guys pray for them as well. And thank you, everybody in the chats, for showing your love. If you guys want to, Mr. Petito, Catherine, I'm getting ready to do this prayer, and we're going to go ahead and close everything out for tonight. And I want to tell you, thank you so much again. God bless both of you for giving me your time. So thank you so much. I want to give, definitely want to do this right here for both of you. Thank you so much for joining me.
I'm going to do it to you too, David.
Yep. Thank you. And I'm sure that the crowd will agree. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. I will pray now, you guys, everybody who's listening to my voice. Thank you so much for being part of this Candlelight Vigil. Heavenly Father, thank you again. We come to you again. This has been a night of remembrance, a night of unity. We united families together tonight. We heard stories of the missing. We heard some of the injustice. Lord, we haven't heard the pain. Lord, we know that you can take care of it all. Heavenly Father, we ask you again for directions for those who we weren't able to talk about tonight. You know who they are. Bless those families as well. Those who are in the chats who wish to have some information put out as well. Help them get those information out. Those who are listening, bless their hearts, Heavenly Father. Bless their hearts that they will share the information that they heard tonight. Look for other loved ones out there to share their stories, because we know, Heavenly Father, we need those. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Bless everybody that's listening tonight, and bless them wherever they are. Thank you. Amen. Thank you, guys. God bless you again, and I will see you all on Wednesday. Those who would come in on Wednesday, I'll see you on Wednesday. So, and those who will come out, I'm trying to debate right now if I'm going to do that second live for the West Coast. If I do, I would like to see you all there as well. Not you two, unless you decide to come on. That'll be very late on the East Coast time. If you're on the East Coast, I know you, Mr. Petito, you're on the East Coast.
Yeah, I got my kids like banging on the door, so I'm
That's right. That's right.
Well, it's the summer, God only knows what they're up to.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Agreed,
So
agreed.
definitely, thank you so much
If
both
you
for being
don't mind,
here.
can you put the link, the time, so I can share that as well to all my groups? And
Yeah, sure. I can do
so
that.
we can all join you, please.
Yes, and also if you two can hang on once I get off, can you hang on for a little while? And then I'm going to talk to you on the back end after this. So thank you so much, you guys. God bless you for everybody. Thank you so much again. This is Dave Robinson, father geologist Daniel Cornelius Robinson. I truly appreciate you guys for joining in on this Candlelight Vigil, virtual Candlelight Vigil. I really wanted to be there in Arizona on ground zero with my boots on the ground. I had family emergencies that kept me away, but I'm here taking care of family matters, and I'm grateful to be here. And I'm grateful the family members that I'm dealing with is looking up. So thank you guys. God bless you guys, and I'll see you next time.
There's so much hate going on in the world, so much pain, so much suffering. This is for those who need a rescue. You are not hidden. There's nothing that can hide. No one you feel it. You're not defenseless. I will be your shelter. I'll be your armor. I hear your whisper underneath your breath. I hear your SOS, your SOS. shelter. I'll be